In this video, we're going to learn to use the sequence view in the Creative Express software. And so generally speaking, we use the sequence view when we want to interact with the sewing sequence of an embroidery design. And so I'm just going to go ahead and select an embroidery design and choose Open. And so once this design is open on my screen, I can see the sewing sequence at the bottom and the design information, the properties over here at the top. And if you're going to spend some time interacting with the sewing sequence of an embroidery design, you can make more room for your sequence view by closing the properties box. And that is actually a tool that's here on your workspace. You can close the properties box and open it with this tool here. And so when you close it, it leaves you more room for your sequence view. And so that's fabulous because you have the ability to obviously interact with the sewing sequence of your embroidery design. And so to do that, you can simply select on any one color of your design. And then there is more than one way to organize it, but just as an example, there's tools down at the bottom. So because I've selected this first color of the design, I have the option to move it down one color, or all the way to the bottom, or delete it. And if I move it down one color, then I have the ability to move it up one color or down one color, or to the top or to the bottom. And if I make it be at the bottom, then I only have options for going up. And so that's one way that you can change at what stage each color of a design will sew. You can also just simply click and drag. So I can take that blue, click and drag after the red, and now it goes, orange, red, blue. And so you can click and drag to move them to as well as the up and down easy to use arrows. So that's one way that you can see the sequence of an embroidery design, and you can even change the sewing order. And so that could be really helpful because, just as an example, what if you put a large embroidery hoop on your screen? And so let's just select for the PES format a nice large embroidery area, and then select the embroidery design and perhaps change its size slightly smaller and let the software interact with the stitches, and basically it's creating new stitches to maintain the original stitch spacing. And when it's done, so we'll just be patient, and now it's completed that task, and you can click and drag to reposition this within your embroidery hoop, and you might want to have additional copies of this design. And so you could use the copy and paste features or the duplicate feature to make extra copies of this embroidery design. And so I'll make, one or two more copies of that same little folk art design. And so now what's happened is I've created a design that sews each one of these designs independently before it moves on to sew the next one, and then moves on to sew the next one. And in this case, you may want to also use, first of all, yes, I could use the sewing sequence over here to reorder the design to be less color stops. I also have a tool up here that will take care of doing that for me called a color sort tool. And if you click on color sort, it will look through your designs and reduce by combining all similar colors. And so now it will do all of the gold in each of the designs before doing all of the red in each of the designs. And so these are tools that Creative Express offers to allow you to reorganize the sewing order or the sewing sequence of an embroidery design. And watch the video about the print preview where you can learn more about the sewing sequence of your embroidery designs.